Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 31 of Omnifactory. My name is ZD and I did a bit of work in between episodes. So last episode we worked on automating a few other things. We did the atomic reconstructor over in our overworld, and then we also did these inscribers as well as the crystal growth chamber and the charger. So basically all of our AE2 needs are now fully automated, which is nice. I also made acceleration cards for each of these, so it's really quick to make things. Like, let's just to show you how nice it is, let's say we want 10 engineering processors. So it's gonna go over to our compressors over there, make our 10 diamond plates, and then I guess that takes a bit of time to make those plates, doesn't it? Oh no, it's going pretty quickly. And then it'll quickly send the plates over here, and these go really fast, and then it will extract the printed circuits and then send them over here with some of our refined circuits and quickly make those processors. So yeah, really happy with this build. It's pretty much as fast as you can get, I feel like, for automating AE2 stuff. I tried to make this, I know we had a bit of an issue last episode with the crystal growth chamber where the seeds would kind of get dispersed and grow at uneven rates. And I tried to use a buffer chest and then add extract speed upgrades. This helped a little bit. Like I did a stack or so of pure crystals, and then like the first stack was 20, which was pretty good, but then it still got pretty evenly distributed. So I don't really know if there's a good way to do that. We don't have to make pure crystals too much, so I'm not gonna spend too long worrying about that. Let's see. Let me bring this back over here. I have been also just like slowly but surely processing up a bunch of this bauxite ore. I forget if I was doing that last episode or not, but that's getting us the purified bauxite ore. And then we're going over here because if we look at our quest book, we were looking at getting rutile, and we have made a ton. just from using the ore washing, we still have a ton left to go. We've gotten, what's this, 5.5 stacks of rutile. And we probably still have way more to go. So this is going to last us for a really long time. The main source of rutile comes from both microminers and also on the moon. But I mean, we're not really going to have to worry about that for a while with the amount that we got from this. And then we can also use this to get even more when we centrifuge this. But I'm not going to make that a huge priority. Yeah, but I did end up picking some up, so I did complete that quest. And I know we were looking into going a little bit. Actually, hold on. Before I get into new stuff, I did do a bit more stuff as well over here. So we made these. I shifted over my assembling machine setup and also other MV stuff over so that I could make this doorway. So now everything looks pretty clean. Although we are sharing some wiring right here, so it's a bit messy here, but I'll probably clean that up soon. This is pretty much doing all the same stuff. I had to kind of rewire it, but I also made a. That's for polyethylene. I made an assembling machine for rubber, and that it only has a few patterns so far, but I think for gold cables it'll be nice. We'll have to make like aluminum cables and some other different types of cables as well soon enough. And I also have ME conduits automated now as well. But yeah, overall I think this looks pretty nice. It could be cleaner, but I think it's compact for everything that it's accomplishing. I have my alloy smelter and lathe, and then my other assembling machine for machine casings as well. Then over on this side, I just made a few more machines that I've been meaning to get to. So the polarizer is good to have recipes for. Right now we only have one. I made an alloy smelter for making small gears so that we don't have to use our hammer and hammer down plates for this. And then I also made an extruder for making normal gears. So right now we're using this just for iron gears, but I'm sure it will be useful in the future as well. And that also completed a quest, I believe, in here. I swear it was in here somewhere. Well, there's an MV extruder quest in here somewhere that I did end up completing. I also had to make a large pipe extruder shape for that, which I don't really know what I'm going to use that for quite yet, but I had to do that to get the quest complete. Yeah, I think that's everything we did. Oh, one other thing. I automated cobblestone variants. So I basically just, over in our overworld, I set up a few more macerators to get gravel and sand up in here automated. Same trick as we've been doing the whole time, where we just fill up our ender chest with stuff. And then I also set up another clay thing, like a chemical reactor to put dust into, and did the whole clay electrolyzing trick. And now I'm getting automated aluminum, silicon, sodium, and lithium. I put in an upgrade into here. I don't know how full it's going to get until it stops. I'm assuming sodium is going to stop this first, but I don't really need sodium for anything, but I figure we can just cross the bridge when we get to it. Our grains of infinity are doing very well as well. Okay, I think that's everything I did. I did a good amount in between episodes. Oh, I guess there's one more thing. I just shifted around some machines here just to make it nice, but I think this pretty much makes our little 3x2 section nice and neat and clean. It's looking good in my opinion. No, I don't want hover mode. I need to figure out how to turn that off because I have the special boots, so I don't really need it. Anyway, so I think what I want to get into today, I know we were looking into some of the mid-game tab stuff, like we wanted to get into carbon fibers and the HV chemical reactor, but I think before we dive too deep into this, I do want to work towards some stuff in the early game. We still have a good amount of incomplete work here. So one thing I definitely am going to have to make relatively soon is the distillation tower, so that we can get into the next circuits, because that's something we'll need to do. But before that, I was thinking for this episode, we can get into a little bit of these fluids, because I think this is all going to lead to us getting rocket fuel, which is important for a few things. One is to get to the moon, which is mentioned down here, to travel to the moon, and then also to get micro miners up and running, which they are very useful. So if I take a look at micro miner, there is oops. If we look at like just the tier 1 micro miner, yeah, so this can be, it's a little bit complex how it works, but basically you build a multi-block like so, and then you can place a micro miner. This is like the input hatch. So you place a micro miner that's built with a few complex recipes, which are, they're kind of expensive, but, and then a quantum flux, which is easy to make, some rocket fuel in a chest, and then it outputs all this good stuff. So like this is how we get a really good amount of rutile. This is a lot of iron, which doesn't matter too much to us, but as you advance up the tiers of microminers, you get to crazier and crazier things. Tier 10 is the last one, and this is used to get the heart of the universe, which is very, very useful to get creative portable tanks, which gives you basically unlimited liquids. That's one of the biggest goals of this game, is to get this item, but we have a very long way to go. We're not going to worry too much about it. It gets kind of crazy. It is crazy. Sometimes I'll just spend time just looking at all these different recipes because it's stuff I've never seen before. My first playthrough, I didn't really get anywhere near this far. Yeah, anyway though. So yeah, I think I want to work towards that. So I'm thinking we can probably just dive into some of these liquid quests. So the first one, let's just jump right into it. It's a hypochlorous acid bucket. This is also going to be a test of my pronunciation skills. So this is made... Let's see, chlorine and water. That seems easy enough. Do I have any chlorine sitting around? I have a tiny bit of chlorine sitting around, but I can pretty easily get more. I just want to take a stack of salt and throw it into my chemical reactor. That should be good. Oh, I have been making a good amount of, I guess this is water. I don't need this. I was just making a lot of sulfuric acid, which I think is just a nice thing to have. It's used for making the different circuit boards and stuff, so I had that. But I don't need it right now. So if I just... Oh, wait, no, this is used in the electrolyzer, actually. Yeah. And then the other thing I needed... Whoops. Is just water. Okay. And then a program circuit on 1. Looks like we can also use mercury, but I don't think that's going to be much better. I think that's just the same as using a program circuit. So I don't think I have a program circuit on me, but I'll grab one. Set it to 1, and then I'm also going to need a bit of water, which I'll just grab right here. Cool. And now in here we can throw the program circuit, some water, and I will also grab some chlorine. And this should get us a decent amount of this stuff. I think this is also something I'm probably going to want to automate eventually. But that's right now I just want to kind of figure out how things work. I never ended up automating this in my previous playthrough. But I think it's going to be used a lot in the future. So methanol is our next one. So methanol is made with, actually, does it have a suggested route? Oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon in a chemical reactor. Okay, yeah, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. That is easy enough. And then configuration 3. Let me just take out all this stuff. And we're gonna have to set this to 3. Again, I'm just trying to get like the basics down. And then I can probably set up some kind of automation going forward. So we needed hydrogen, oxygen, and I think I have some carbon in here, right? Yeah. And then configuration 3, so I've put in the carbon and the circuit, and that should get us some methanol, which is nice to have. I'll just let this salt finish up. It's good to have chlorine. I think chlorine's used a good amount, and we do have it kind of automated, although we have no steady supply of salt. But in our overworld, we do have a machine that's dedicated to chlorine, so I could probably use that and hook it up somehow. But I'm not going to worry too much about it as of right now. Again, it's good to do this first just to figure out, like, what are we going to use a lot of, and then figure out how to kind of automate it from there. So we want to get this methanol now, which we should have. This definitely seems like it's a bit slower, but that's okay. We got methanol. Hello? Thank you. I feel like we're going to see this fluid terminal just fly up in different types of liquids as well. And then the last one is ammonia. So hydrogen and nitrogen combine together to make ammonia. Centrifuge air. Okay, so we might need to make a air collector for this, which I don't think that's something I've done quite yet. Yeah, centrifuge air to get oxygen or nitrogen. That does seem like the way to go. So let's do that. I think an air collector is something that's good to have. Basic air. It doesn't say which. I guess this is for LV, but I'll use an advanced air collector. I mean, I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but all the machines over there are MV, so... okay. Advanced air collector. Let's see if we can make that really quick. If I'm missing anything, we will see. Okay, we got to make some iron bars. Just a wrench. Good. I'm glad I have some of these. And then, did we have electric pumps? We did. She had an item filter and a tier 2. I thought I made some tier 2s, but I guess I didn't. And then, is this a GregTech item filter? I believe it is. Oh, man. Zinc foil, which is just zinc plates in a cluster mill. Let me get this real quick. All right, we got some zinc foil. This reminds me, cluster mill is something I'm definitely going to want to automate as well. But for now, this should work. Grab an item filter, and that should be everything we need for this advanced air collector. So I'm pretty sure we just plop this down on an MV line, and it just kind of does its thing. Yeah, you can see the tank in the upper left-hand corner filling up. I don't think it has any kind of GUI or anything, or GUI. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. But I think we should just be able to kind of like snag it, and then what was it? We just throw it into a centrifuge? Oh, there we go. Okay. So if you put something next to it, I think it just automatically outputs. I still only have my LV centrifuge, I guess. I'm going to go through this again. There we go. I found it, guys. I found it. Okay, and it takes 10 buckets, and then it should make some nitrogen out of that. And how much nitrogen do we get from this? Where did air go? Oh, wait, that's a... Okay, we'll get a bit of nitrogen from this. It's pretty slow, though. I guess we do need a better centrifuge. And then we also need... What was the other? Oh, just hydrogen, and then another program circuit on configuration 1. So while that's centrifuging up, I should be able to just grab my stuff out of here. Put everything away that I don't need. And this was on back to 1, and I just needed some hydrogen, please, which I have tons of. Oh, I finally filled up my my first ME drive for fluids. Took long enough. Cool. So I should be able to grab that bucket, and then I'll grab nitrogen as well, which I don't think that's really a quest to do, but we will see. And then, okay, so we have hydrogen, nitrogen, and program circuit 1. Cool, looks like that is working. Let me clean up my inventory a bit. Trying to be better about having a clean inventory. Stuff can get really messy really quickly. Cool, we got ammonia, and that should complete the quest. right? Yeah, awesome. Put that away as well. And that should unlock the next, like, column of liquids. There's so many liquids we need to deal with to get up to rocket fuel. Okay. Next one. Chloramine. I remember chloramine. Chloramine's a good one. Ammonia and hypochloric acid. That is easy enough. That's what we pretty much just made. So I'll just make... How much hypochloric acid do I have? Or hypochlorous acid. There we go. Let me just throw those two things into the actual thing. I don't have enough tanks. Let's see. Hypochlorous acid. Okay, I need these two. I might have to make a few more tanks. So hypochloric acid. Looks like it wants me to get rid of the nitrogen first. And then the ammonia should make that. Awesome. Should take out... Oh, did that first one just get voided? Oops. I lost a bucket of chloramine. Okay. Get these things out of the way. Grab a bucket to complete the quest. And then get the rest of the stuff out of here as well. And throw everything back in our digital storage. This is where it's really nice to have digital storage as well, just because of the amount of different liquids you have to touch. It's really, really crazy. Cool, got that one. And then we're getting closer to hydrazine, which I think is very close to being there. Dimethyl, that word, methanol and ammonia. I can do that. Unless I already used all my ammonia. No, I did not. Even if we don't need a ton, but I do think we need a ton, I feel like this would be a fun thing to try and automate regardless, just with the amount of chemical reactors and stuff we're going to need. I mean, you don't need, like, you need salt for chlorine, and then I forget what the other, like, basic inputs were, but, like, ammonia is... Like that's just air pretty much, and I have tons of hydrogen. It seems very doable. It seems like something we could definitely automate and make a cool little process doing so. Oh, whoops, I need to actually grab a bucket as well of what we were looking for, which was this one to complete the quest. And then that should unlock the next one, and I think I see rocket fuel on the horizon. We just got to make hydrazine. We're almost there. Which is just that word, and chloramine. And is that everything? Where did the, there we go. I'll grab that as well. I might as well make 2 buckets of these. 1, 2, and chloramine. And it's called 1-to-1 something, whatever it is. Because it's a 1-to-1 chloramine and whatever the other liquid is. That is just ridiculous, those words. And then we're going to need to make rocket fuel, which I think it's just like oxygen or something mixed with this hydrazine, but I am not quite sure. This does take a bit of time to make. I'm going to make a cluster mill in between episodes as well. That's something I have to do. But yeah, we're rocking through some of these quests. And then I think up here or something, there's a big travel to the moon. And that's what this quest line was also for, the interdimensional transportation or teleportation. And I think we also have to do some stuff with this phosphorus pentoxide as well, which I don't think should be too hard. So we can call this just like rocket fuel prep. Probably shouldn't have grabbed a bucket for that. I probably should have put that into a bucket. Cool. Now if I grab the 1-to-1, whatever it is, that should complete that quest. Cool. And now rocket fuel. Ooh, it gives us a lot of quarters. Okay, it is just oxygen. Oxygen and hydrazine combined together to make rocket fuel. Oh, it's actually going to mix her. Okay. So let me just grab a bit of oxygen, which is not a problem. We have plenty of that. And then in a mixer, which is over here, I think it's my first time actually mixing liquids. We should get a bucket of rocket fuel. Woo! I'm glad things didn't blow up when I did that. So we're going to need a lot more than 3 buckets of rocket fuel, but that's a start. And we've gone through the quests, and we've kind of have a a somewhat better understanding of what goes into making rocket fuel. It's certainly a lot. But yeah, this is going to let us, let me complete this. This is going to let us get to actual fuel loading. So this is all part of going to the moon. Before I start doing that though, I think I do want to work on this quest line as well though. So let's jump into that. I think this phosphorus pentoxide dust is relatively easy to make. I have made a decent amount of phosphorus in the past. Let's see, phos, 50, yeah. Okay, I might as well, I don't know if this is, oops, I lost my wrench. I don't know if this is used in much other stuff, but I'll just do 4 for now. And then it was oxygen, right? Yeah, okay. 10 buckets, that's a good amount actually. Cool. I can grab the other stuff I got here. And that should make phosphorus pentoxide, which I guess we're going to figure out what that's used for. Combine them to get the correct ratios, or combine them in the correct ratios. Okay, this is going to work towards luminescence. I see. So we have to make some phosphoric acid, which sounds extremely painful. So phosphorus, okay, it's just with water. That's easy enough. Okay, so I'll just grab some water. And back to the chemical reactor we go. Water is right here. Wow, we need a lot of water actually. Let me use my bigger tank. This goes really fast as well. Sheesh. Okay, and now let me put away some of my other liquids, like usual. I think we're getting pretty fast at getting through these things. Hopefully this isn't too boring. I find it pretty interesting when you have like a million different liquids to go through. Wow, we need even more water actually. That's hydrogen. Here's water. Cool. I'll grab that back and put that away, and then I can grab my phosphorus acid, one of which will be in a bucket to complete the quest. Wow, just off of 4 phosphorus, we got, what was that, 56 buckets or something? Oh wow, did I already fill this up? Looks like I did. Well, that's going to be an issue. Let me make a few more storage drives. Look, I broke it. How's this possible? 1025 out of 1024. Huh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I made like 4 more, so I should have plenty of space now. Maybe I will make a 4K fluid storage to store my hydrogen. Maybe I will do that. We'll see. Cool, so next on the docket is to make luminescence. Okay, and this is used for extended crafting, which is going to be needed for a lot of things going forward in the future. Okay, I kind of remember what this is used for. But yeah, this is just energetic blend and aluminum dust with some phosphoric acid. So I don't think I have any energetic blend on me, but I can make that pretty easy. What if I just did like 16? And then 16 redstone. So this will get me 32 energetic blends, which means I need 32 aluminum dust as well. So I can use this mixer really quick. And then is that pretty much it? Oops. Yeah, 1 to 1, and then we'll need 64 buckets of phosphoric acid actually. So I guess we'll use all of it. I'm not sure. Let's do 16 actually. I'm not sure where else this stuff is going to be needed, so we will see. And I believe that was in the chemical reactor, correct? Yes. So let's throw our stuff in here. And this should get us, yeah, half a stack of luminescence, which we'll probably need more eventually, but this should be fine. You know what, let me get a full stack actually. Why not? Quest complete. I like how fast that is. That's very nice to have. Cool, so we got a full stack of luminescence, and I'm not sure if that leads to any other quest. Looks like on this side it doesn't, but I think we actually might have to get into, what's this from? Extra Utilities 2, unless this unlocks something in mid-game. Nope, doesn't look like it did. So yeah, this is actually something, I probably could jump into Extra Utilities 2, because I think this is needed for the extended crafting, which is used a good amount. So yeah, let's do that. I think it shouldn't be too hard to make. Machine block, sure, that seems very easy. We're just rocking through quests today. That is kind of our game. We haven't done that in a very long time. It feels good to just like power through them. Okay, and this is going to get into getting actual grid power creation. So for those that aren't familiar with extra utilities too, power works in a bit of a different way. It's not as simple as like, oh, let's throw coal in a generator and generate power. It's something that is like always present. It's weird. Like the resonator uses power, and actually it doesn't say anything about that there. But then if we make it like a water mill or something, it will continuously generate power when there is water next to it. So that's a pretty good like starter way to do it. And then you don't really have to worry about it past then. Just extra utilities 2 machines will just always be powered through that. Some might say it's a bit overpowered, but there's nothing too crazy you can do with it. So I think it's fine. So yeah, let's make a resonator. This is, I think, one of the first machines we're going to use. I think I should have all this stuff, right? And I can just plop this down somewhere. I'll put it here. And let's see what it wants us to use this for. Oh, wow, we're really expanding on some of our quests. The manual mill. Okay, so we're going to need to create grid power somehow. So that's what we're going to need the manual mill for. I think I have to make this. What's this? A conductive iron gear. Well, good thing I have an extruder dedicated to doing those things. Let me make that pattern. Boom, another one. So now I should be able to make one really quick. Oh, I think the pattern is using the wrong type of conductive iron, I believe. Because I believe I have a conductive iron, right? Oh yeah, we're using the Ender IO conductive iron. I really wish, maybe there is a way to like ore dictionary these patterns, but that would be really nice. Cool. And now I am making the mill. Was it a mill? Yeah, the manual mill. So I need to make one of these, and then I guess polished stone is something I'm going to need as well. More to do than I thought. Give me a sec. I'll prep a little bit. All right, polished stone is easy enough to make. It's just water and stone in an autoclave, so that's not really too much of a problem, but I think it's used a decent amount in extra utilities. So we are trying to make the manual mill, so that's easy enough to make. And then I think how this works is that we basically just have to like hit it over and over again, and then it does this thing. I don't really need this anvil right here. Is there a better place for it? That can go there. And then you can see as I actually hit it, I'm just holding right click now, you can see the grid power. So this is the only thing that actually requires effort to make power until we get something better. So we actually need something to put in the resonator though to make this work. So I'm assuming it's going to have us make something. Ah yes, red coal. So let's make a bit of red coal, which is just coal in the resonator with 16 GP. So if I just want to take like, I have so much coal, 52K, that's awesome. So how does this work? It needs 16. So am I not able to make the red coal until I have like 2 or something? Interesting. Maybe if we look into GP generation a little bit. Yeah, because I don't think this manual mill is really going to do it. Let's see what happens when I get to 15. And then, because I think you need 16, so this can't generate more. All right, we are not getting coal into red coal here. So, okay, it looks like stone burnt is used, which is just polished. Oh, okay, I see. So let's take some of our polished stone. I just went a bit in the wrong order. We can't quite use that yet, but we are going to need stone burnt to get our different types of mills, like the water mill I was talking about earlier. So we should see this get to 8 grid power, and then it will kind of reset back to 0, because that will complete the quest, or complete the craft. So we should have our stone burnt there, so that is good to see. Let me just let this go for a bit. I'm just saying, man, this is content right here. This is why I like this game. Look at this. Look at me go. I realized that you don't actually have to hold on onto right click, which is nice, but still, it's a bit annoying. I think we should have a good amount now. Okay, we got 10. That's enough to complete the quest and hopefully get a bit better grid power generation. Here it talks a little bit about how grid power works. It's like, yeah, we can't just build a bunch of water mills. They basically reward trying to use different types of grid power generation. So if we make some water mills and some lava mills or different stuff like that, that is good. But I mean, it's not necessary. Here it just talks a bit about extra utilities too. I think I've talked about the angel ring a little bit before, but that's definitely something I want to get to sooner rather than later. I think we're pretty close to it. We just need to get to tungsten steel, which requires some blast furnace upgrades. But yeah, let's see if we can make like a water mill or something. And that would be a nice way to get a decent amount of extra utilities power. Yeah, this seems straightforward enough as of right now. So I should be able to make a couple of these actually. Do I like just have everything? I think I'll need to make a few more gears, but I think I have the pumps, right? I need one more pump actually. I should really set up the assembling machine for this as well. What am I missing? Some bronze screws. Do I have bronze bolts or anything? Nope. 1 second. And boom, full stack of screws. So what was it? Screwdriver. Oh, I'm not going to be able to know. Screwdriver and wrench. And we need motors as well, actually. And the wrench, and I will take a motor. Man, auto crafting is just so nice. Okay, whatever. We only need one more for now. And get 2 more of these. And we should get a water mill. Awesome. So just to demonstrate how this works for now, let's throw it in there. Sure. And we can surround it with the beautiful cobblestone for now, although I will try to make a better place for this. And now if we just grab some water. Let's take this. I think if we do it like that or something, will that give 4? Okay, that gives 6. I thought it was saying 4 per side though. I'm sure there's some efficient way to do this that I have not quite figured out yet. Okay, now it generates 14. That's pretty nice. So yeah, so that makes my life a lot better. And so this should be running by itself now, yeah, because this only needs 8 grid power. And now if I want to make that red coal that we were seeing before, we can also do this, and now we can see the maximum just jumped. Like when I'm not hitting it, the maximum is 14, but when I do hit it, it's 19 because this resonator can do 15 at a time. Although it'd still be nice to just not have to do this, so I probably will make a few more water mills in between episodes and find a better building block other than cobblestone to use. But yeah, that's kind of like the beginning of extra utilities at least. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it here for the episode. I think we got a good amount of stuff done. We rocketed through this, no pun intended. We rocketed through this quest book. We got a bunch of different fluids all sorted out, and I'll probably try to figure out some way to automate rocket fuel in the future. And now we're starting to get into extra utilities, and this, I believe, yeah, this will get us into the extended crafting, which I don't think I really talked about that much, but they're just crafting tables, and you can have larger crafts in them. So you can make this demonically gargantuan drum, for example. But there's a lot of really important things you can make, different types of armors. I think it was, oh, there's the angel ring, actually, right here. But yeah, so like, for example, this tier 2 micro miner. So a lot of the micro miners use these extended crafting tables. So they're very necessary to make and very useful in many ways. But yeah, so I'm going to call it for this episode. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and I will see you on the next one.